Daisy asks Tom, "What are you planning to do in this cold weather?" Tom replies, "Nothing much." Daisy then says, "We should go to a snow adventure camp." At first, Tom hesitates, but after Daisy keeps insisting, he agrees. The next day, they both set off for a snow adventure in a snow-covered forest, where everything around them was covered in snow. One day, Daisy says to Tom, "We should try snow skiing here." Tom initially refuses, but after Daisy keeps asking, he agrees. So they leave their camp to go skiing. While skiing, they end up going much farther and lose their way. Tom says to Daisy, "I told you we shouldn't have gone this far. Now we've lost the path to our camp, and it's getting dark. Where will we spend the night in this freezing cold?" Daisy replies, "Don't worry, Tom. We'll definitely find a shelter together." The two of them start searching for shelter in the forest. Just then, a snowstorm hits. They both get caught in a snowstorm and heavy snowfall begins. They can barely see the path ahead. Daisy holds Tom's hand and says, "Tom, don't lose hope. Together, we will surely find a way." Shivering, Tom replies, "But Daisy, we are still far from the camp, and in this storm we can't see anything. How will we find our way back?" Daisy grips Tom's hand tightly and says, "Tom, we will definitely find a way together." The two of them keep moving forward. Their faces have turned red from the cold, and thick snow surrounds them. After a while, as their hope starts to fade, Daisy and Tom were slowly moving forward through the snowstorm, each step becoming more difficult. Suddenly, Tom's foot hit a piece of rock, and he fell to the ground, crying out in pain. Daisy quickly rushed to him and asked, "Tom, are you okay?" Tom groaned, I can't walk anymore." Daisy held his hand tightly and said, "Tom, we can't lose hope. We will definitely find a place to take shelter from this storm." Just then, Daisy spotted a cabin house in the distance. With newfound hope, she turned to Tom and said, "Tom, just hold on a little longer. We'll take shelter in that cabin." Summoning all his remaining strength, Tom stood up with Daisy's support. She helped him walk toward the cabin through the thick snow. Reaching the cabin, Daisy knocked on the door loudly.
Daisy knocked on the cabin door hard, but there was no response. The storm was getting worse. Tom groaned in pain. Daisy knocked again. This time, she heard a faint sound from inside. Suddenly, the door creaked open. Inside, it was dark, with only the dim glow of an old lamp flickering. Daisy grabbed Tom's hand and stepped inside. The place was old and eerie. The walls were covered with old, faded pictures. Just then, a voice echoed, "What are you doing here?" Daisy and Tom turned around in shock. An old man stood before them. His deep-set eyes and strange expression sent chills down their spines. Daisy and Tom exchanged nervous glances. Daisy gathered her courage and said, "We just needed some shelter from the storm because Tom is injured." The old man remained silent for a moment, then said, "All right, you both can come in, but this place is not safe." Daisy and Tom stepped forward. The old man asked them to sit on the sofa and went inside. Tom whispered to Daisy, "Don't you find this place strange? I'm feeling really scared here." Just then, the old man returned with an herbal potion and applied it to Tom's injured leg. He then said to Daisy, "You both should stay here for a while until the storm calms down and your friend's wound heals a bit." Daisy nodded in agreement, and the two friends waited inside the cabin for the snowstorm to subside. By the next morning, the storm had calmed down. Daisy and Tom thanked the old man and left, making their way back to their camp.